At 4,919 meters, Tilicho Lake is one of the highest lakes in the world. Nestled in the Annapurna Massif, this stunning glacial lake sits like a turquoise jewel surrounded by some of Nepal's most dramatic peaks. In the first week of April 2025, we embarked on this incredible journey, trekking the Annapurna Circuit route to reach Tilicho Lake. From the chaotic streets of Kathmandu to the serene, oxygen-thin shores of this alpine wonder, this trek gave us everything: stunning landscapes, cultural immersion, physical challenges, and moments of pure awe. This is our complete story of the Tilicho Lake trek. Before we dive into our journey, let's talk about what makes Tilicho Lake so special. Tilicho Lake sits at an elevation of 4,919 meters, that's over 16,000 feet, making it one of the highest lakes on Earth. It's located in the Manang district of Nepal, within the Annapurna Conservation Area. The lake was formed by glacial activity from the surrounding peaks, including Tilicho Peak at 7,134 meters, Nilgiri at 7,061 meters, and the massive Annapurna Range. The lake measures approximately 4 kilometers in length and varies in width, with a depth reaching up to 85 meters in some sections. Its distinctive turquoise blue color comes from glacial melt containing rock flour, fine sediment ground by glaciers. But Tilicho isn't just about statistics. This lake holds religious significance in Hindu mythology. According to ancient texts, Tilicho is believed to be connected to the legend of the sacred lake mentioned in the Ramayana, where sages would come to meditate. The lake also gained international attention when French explorer Michel Peissel documented it in the 1950s, and it became part of the famous Annapurna Circuit, one of the world's most renowned trekking routes. Tilicho Lake sits at a critical junction where trekkers on the Annapurna Circuit can take a challenging detour to witness this natural marvel before continuing to Thorongla Pass. We trekked in the first week of April 2025, and timing matters hugely in the Himalayas. April sits right in the middle of spring season, which runs from March to May. Here's why it's considered one of the best times for this trek: weather conditions, days are warming up, but nights remain cold. Clear skies and excellent visibility. Lower chance of snowstorms compared to winter. The trail is mostly snow-free, making it more accessible. Landscape: lower elevations burst with rhododendron blooms, Nepal's national flower. The forests are vibrant and green. Mountain views are crisp and stunning. Rivers are flowing but not dangerously swollen. Trail conditions: tea houses are fully operational. The trail is well established and easier to navigate. Not as crowded as October, but still social enough to meet fellow trekkers. April gave us that sweet spot: beautiful weather, blooming trails, and incredible mountain visibility. Kathmandu to Besisahar. Our adventure began in Kathmandu. After gathering our permits and gear, we took a bus to Besisahar, the traditional starting point for the Annapurna Circuit. The road journey takes about 6 to 7 hours, winding through terraced hills, river valleys, and small villages. Besisahar sits at around 760 meters, and from here, the real adventure begins. Besisahar to Chame by jeep. Instead of trekking the lower sections, we opted for a jeep from Besisahar to Chame. This is a common choice now, as the road has been extended, and it saves several days. The jeep ride itself is an adventure: bumpy, dusty, clinging to cliff edges with the Masyangdi River roaring below. One of the highlights? Passing the beautiful Chamje waterfall. Water cascades powerfully down the cliff face, spraying mist across the road. It's a spectacular sight and a taste of the natural beauty waiting ahead. We reached Chame at 2,710 meters, a charming town with mountain views and the gateway to the Upper Annapurna Circuit. Chame to Upper Pisang. From Chame, we started trekking properly. The trail took us through pine forests, past Mani walls with Buddhist prayers carved into stones, and through traditional villages. We stayed in Upper Pisang at 3,300 meters, a beautiful stone village with incredible views of Annapurna too. Upper Pisang sits above the main trail, offering a quieter, more authentic experience compared to Lower Pisang. The village monastery and the sunrise views over the Annapurnas made this stop unforgettable. Upper Pisang to Manang, via Ngawal. Here's where trekkers have options. There are 2 routes from Pisang to Manang, the lower route through Humda, easier and more direct. The upper route through Ngawal and Braga, more challenging but more scenic. Many trekkers also take jeeps directly to Manang or even Kharka to save time. But we chose to trek the upper route. Why? Because the upper trail offers stunning views of the Annapurna and Ngawal ranges. We passed through Ngawal, a traditional village perched on a hillside with panoramic mountain vistas. The trail then descended to Braga, famous for its ancient monastery built into the cliff face, before finally reaching Manang at 3,540 meters. Acclimatization in Manang and Ice Lake hike. Manang is where most trekkers spend an extra day for acclimatization, and we did exactly that. But we didn't just rest. We hiked to Ice Lake, Kicho Tal, at 4,600 meters. This acclimatization hike is absolutely worth it. The trail climbs steeply from Braga through alpine meadows and rocky terrain. Ice Lake sits in a glacial bowl surrounded by towering peaks. It's stunning, isolated, and a perfect warm-up for Tilicho. The hike helped our bodies adjust to the altitude while giving us one of the most beautiful side trips on the circuit. Manang to Tilicho Base Camp, via Shree Kharka, now came the big detour, leaving the main Annapurna Circuit to head toward Tilicho Lake. From Manang, we trekked to Shree Kharka at 3,700 meters. This section follows the Marsyangdi River Valley, passing through the small settlement of Kharka. Shree Kharka is basic, just a few tea houses, but it's beautifully positioned with views of the surrounding peaks. The next day, we trekked to Tilicho Base Camp at 4,150 meters. This stretch is where things get real. The trail becomes more exposed, rockier, and steeper. The air gets noticeably thinner. Tilicho Base Camp is a collection of simple lodges clinging to the mountainside. It's windy, cold, and absolutely exhilarating. The day we hiked to Tilicho Lake started early, around 5 a.m. The trail from base camp to the lake is about 2 to 3 hours, but at this altitude, everything takes longer. Every step requires effort. The path is steep, rocky, and in some sections, involves scrambling over loose scree. But then, we saw it. Tilicho Lake appeared before us like something from another planet. The massive turquoise expanse, surrounded by the towering walls of Tilicho Peak and Nilgiri, stretched out in absolute silence. At 4,919 meters, standing on the shore, we felt on top of the world. The air was thin, the wind was biting, but the view was worth every difficult step. The color of the water shifts with the light, from deep blue to bright turquoise to almost gray depending on cloud cover. Prayer flags fluttered around the lake, left by pilgrims and trekkers. We spent about an hour there, taking photos, simply sitting in silence, absorbing the magnitude of the place. It's hard to describe the feeling. It's not just the beauty, it's the combination of physical effort, altitude, isolation, and the raw power of nature. You feel small but connected to something vast. After Tilicho Lake, we retraced our steps back to Manang, rejoining the main Annapurna Circuit. From there, trekkers typically continue to Thorong La Pass at 5,416 meters, but my journey focused on Tilicho as the main highlight. From subtropical forests at low elevations to barren alpine landscapes at Tilicho, the ecological zone shifts dramatically. April gave us blooming rhododendrons at low elevations and crystal clear mountain views at higher altitudes. The landscapes were constantly changing and constantly stunning. The challenge: this isn't an easy trek. The altitude, the terrain, the distances, it all tests you. But that's what makes reaching Tilicho so rewarding. You need the ACAP, Annapurna Conservation Area Permit, and TIMS card. Acclimatization, take it seriously. Spend the extra day in Manang. Optional hike Ice Lake. Your body needs time to adjust. Layers are everything. Mornings and evenings are freezing, midday can be warm. Good trekking boots, warm sleeping bag, down jacket. Fitness, train beforehand. This trek demands stamina and mental toughness. Timing, April and October are peak seasons for good reason, stable weather and clear views. Flexibility, weather can change rapidly. Be prepared to adjust plans. Standing at 4,919 meters on the shore of one of the world's highest lakes, looking up at the Annapurna and Nilgiri giants, that moment stays with you forever. We did this trek in the first week of April 2025, and it was everything we hoped for and more. The timing was perfect, the experience was transformative, and Tilicho Lake delivered on every level. If you're considering this trek, do it. Prepare well, respect the altitude, and embrace every moment.